Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dylan, and I'm back with my weekly comic book rant. And today, I'm going to talk about my weekly comic book pickups that I snagged from my local comic book shop. And you know I like to start with the pick of the week. And it was actually a smaller week, but a lot of great titles. And I think I would say it was definitely between two titles that I was really digging this week. But I would say my pick of the week would be Darth Vader issue 1, Star Wars Darth Vader issue 1. Wow, man, this was just, it was the artwork was phenomenal. It wasn't nothing mind-blowing, but I thought it went perfect for what the story was going for. I thought Greg Pak did a great job telling this story, and it basically takes place right after Empire Strikes Back, like right how the Charles Soule Star Wars begins. That's exactly how this one starts off with Luke getting his hand cut off, and after Darth Vader has revealed to his son that he is his father, and that he wants to bring him to the dark side, and that Palpatine has foreseen the future, and Luke is the one to kill him. We kind of see Darth Vader go on a rampage on the whole galaxy to kind of take his anger out on him just probably being a crappy dad, and not being able to get his son to turn to the dark side. And we're gonna see Darth Vader go dark mode, I hope, in this. And this issue was just mind-blowing. This is canon, so I was blown away by the end of this issue, man. And I think if you're any type of Star Wars fan, it's definitely a must-have. Next, we got issue 1 of Ant-Man. This is going to just be a mini-series, I believe 5 issues. We got Zeb Wells doing the writing, and Dylan Burnett and Mike Spicer doing the arts. Man, Dylan Burnett, he has a great style and artwork, and I think his art in Ant-Man was absolutely awesome. Mike Spicer's colors really come into play in this. And this is really fun, tongue-cheeky type story. Ant-Man goofing around and cracking jokes, but it starts off with him and his daughter. Stinger is her name. I've never actually heard of his daughter I didn't know that was her name in the comics, so that was cool to find out that she's called Stinger. And basically, man, he's kind of like playing hero for hire, Ant-Man is, because he's broke after all the War of the Realms, Giant Man issue, one-shot issues or whatever. I didn't read those, but it kind of ties into War of the Realms, saying that he's broke trying to make some money. And he's basically playing hero for hire, which was absolutely funny. So he gets a job, and it's not the job he expects, but the job turns out a little bit different than he's planning. And I just thought this was really fun. And dude, I'm so pumped. Like, Dylan Burnett is what sold me on this book, so I can't wait to see his artwork in the upcoming issues. And yeah, man, 5 issues, man. I'm just a sucker for miniseries, so you can always count me in for those. Speaking of miniseries, we got X-Men Fantastic Four. 1 out of 4 issues. This is only going to be a mini series, but this is definitely tying into all the Donna X stuff. This tied in more than a lot of the other recent titles that I feel like have been coming out, but this was absolutely really well written. We get some Kate Pride in here, we get some Magneto goodness, we get some Storm, we get some Pyro, we get Wolverine, and we get Professor X, and obviously the Fantastic Four. And we're getting some cool stuff with basically, if you, in one of the earlier issues, it might have been Hoxpox, it was one of the issues where they arrested Sabretooth, and they basically gave a hint to Franklin, like, yo, you're a mutant and you always have a home with us. and Franklin's powers are kind of depleting, so he's kind of having problems with his father, because he's like, you're the smartest man on earth, you're solving all these problems for everyone else in the world, and you can't even help me out and fix my problem. And basically, the X-Men, they're gonna go and seek Franklin out and try to bring him home, and they believe that Krakoa is his home and that he should be with his fellow mutants. And the Fantastic Four, they're not gonna just give up their son so easily, man. So this was absolutely very well written. The artwork I thought the artwork was pretty good, but it seemed a little rushed here and there on some of the pages. But I believe Dotson does all the, I think maybe he does the pencils and the colors, I'm not sure, and then maybe Martin does the inks, I'm not sure. But yeah, man, this was I thought that was a great issue, and it's only gonna be 4 issues, so I'm definitely gonna be checking that out. Chip Zdarsky knows how to write Fantastic Four, so yeah, man, he did a great job with that. I really loved Kate Pryde and Franklin's, friendship that they had in that. Marauders issue 7. This this was definitely the weakest Marauders issue of all of them. The artwork seemed really rushed. The artwork was not up to par with the other issues at all. It wasn't a horrible issue, but I'd say compared to the other 6 issues, this was definitely the weakest by far. We don't really get anything about what happened with Kate, which was a really big bummer after that huge cliffhanger in issue 6. So it's just, oh man, you're left on that string, man, and it is just killing me. I want to know what the hell is going on with Kate, but I'm really hoping we can figure out what's going on by issue 8, which I believe comes out in like a week or two, or I think 2 weeks. So it won't be too much longer, but still, man, this really seemed like a fillerish issue, and I don't know. It wasn't bad. It just, the artwork wasn't up to standards that I felt like. But next we got Immortal Hulk, Great Power. This is a one-shot written by Tom Taylor, artworks by Philip Molina, I believe. Artwork was pretty good. There was a few panels I wasn't really feeling. Again, it kind of felt like some of these books the artwork was rushed in a few of them. This book, though, was honestly a waste of $5. You really I don't think this is is just like a one-shot story. It has nothing to do with any of the Immortal Hulk stuff that's been going on. This was honestly a big disappointment. It was really just like Peter getting, Peter turning into the Hulk, and I really don't want to spoil too much of it, but there's really not that much to spoil. Like, honestly, man, I read this and I just couldn't believe that, this is what the story ended up being. It was really a big letdown for, honestly, all the books that came out. This was probably one of the biggest letdowns. It felt like they were really just trying to sell you on this because it's got Immortal Hulk in it, and you throw Spider-Man mix in there and you're like, oh my god, this is going to be awesome. But it really just revolves around Peter getting the Hulk, Hulk inside him, no pun intended, but and then just figuring out how they're gonna fix what has happened. And man, it don't go like, it's just messed up, man. But next we got Miles Morales, Spider-Man issue 15. Now this one, man, I dropped Amazing Spider-Man, the Nick Spencer. I hope I don't regret it in the long run, because I was on that for like I was on that from the beginning. But this has been fantastic all the way through. I really was intrigued with the last issue with his vice principal finding Miles Morales' journal, and how Miles Morales rolls. He's basically kind of he's kind of wanting to maybe go to school for writing one day, and so he basically has himself like a diary journal where he jots down his thoughts from his day-to-day life in Spider-Man, and he loses that journal. So he's freaking out, like, oh my god, who found? And then the one guy that finds it, the vice principal, is the one guy that is up his butt, man. He won't leave him alone, is always putting him on. He put him on probation, academic probation, is just giving him crap out the oh my god, it's just crazy. And that's the guy that finds a notebook, and I just couldn't resist. I had to stay on this, because I didn't plan on staying on this title that long, but I have really enjoyed this, and if it keeps up like this, I won't be dropping it anytime soon, because I need to have a good Spider-Man book in my life. I just need it. Next, we got Daredevil issue 17. I haven't been reading this, as you know. A lot of my peeps in the community, like my boy John Comics and Kids, he's always saying this is absolutely amazing, and I loved what Chip Zdarsky did with that issue of Fantastic Four X-Men, as I said. But this, I fell off it on like issue 6, but because I am a Daredevil fan, I have a lot of his most recent books. And I always just felt like maybe I was reading this at the wrong time, so I gotta sit down and just read these. But I do feel like I might be dropping this finally, because I haven't read this in like 10 issues. So I feel like I probably will be dropping it once the story arc ends. But I feel like maybe I need to at least read it and catch up before I decide to drop it. So I hope I wasn't like picking this up for no reason, but I'm a Daredevil fan, so I think it should be worth it once I give it the time and sit down and read all the issues through and through. But next we got some True Believers goodness, Tales of Suspense. I believe this was issue 12. There's no way issue 45. I'm sorry, of 12 center, but man, I think this is first Pepper Potts and maybe first Happy Hogan. No way I was passing this up. This is just, I love some Stan Lee goodness. Next we got Batman Shadow of the Bat, Dollar Comics, The Last Arkham by Alan Grant. This looks awesome. I can't wait to dive into that. Next we got Batman 386. I believe this is first Black Mask, and this is just a cool cover. Yeah, man, this is some older Batman, no doubt. But, one of these days when I'm just bored, I like to sit down and read a dollar comic book here and there. So that's a cool one to have, and I'm a big Batman guy. So next we're going to jump into some independent. Didn't have anything really. I just got one independent book, and you guys know what that is already, my guys. Like this is one I was going nuts for, and this was the contender for pick of the week. Boom Studios, IDW, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue 3. You know what it is, my dogs. Oh my god. First Shredder, Green Ranger Shredder, cover appearance. Like, dude, this was just absolutely awesome. First full appearance, I guess, maybe, of the Green Shredder. So, man, this was just awesome. I love this main cover. This is my favorite cover out of all the issues that came. And I've been trying to get those 1 per stores, and your boy got one. He got one. I wish I could have got the they had the second printings come out, and you could have had a chance to get one of those, another chance to get a Lord Draken Shredder holding the Lord Draken 1 per store. Missed that, sadly. I missed the cutoff, but at least I got this. Raphael is probably my favorite turtle, so I thought, if I can't get any of the other ones, maybe I won't. I'm hoping after this issue, I can maybe at least get issue 4, so I can maybe have 2 out of the 5. But I had to get Raphael because maybe, from what I'm thinking, Mikey might be the next one, because I'm thinking they're gonna just do every turtle, and they're gonna have them holding the White Ranger helmet. So if Mikey's next, Raphael and Mikey are my 2 favorites. So it'd be only right if I could get those 2. But man. There's a lot going down. Shredder is just going crazy in this, man. He is OP'd like a mother, man, and it was just awesome. I really do, I was mind blown by the end of this, and I'm so ready for issue 4. I'm so ready. I jumped up out of my seat. I'm like, let's go. I need me some of this. I need me some more TMNT Power Rangers. I need it. Next, I picked up my Eastman variant. It finally came in. Like I said, Raphael is my dog, man. He's my dog. Next, we'll get into some DC. Hill House Black Label, Daphne Byrne issue 2. I thought this was a good issue. We got this girl, and she seems to be kind of like haunted in a way where she can almost see like ghosts, and she has this spirit, this like weird spirit that's like following her and messing with her dreams. And dude, by the end of this, it is so creepy, man. This thing that is like latched to her, this like demon or this spirit that's latched to her is creepy as hell, dude. Like, all get out. This was really creepy. And man, you know what I'm saying? Like, her mother is going to see this, like, medium, and she's trying to figure out what, trying to speak to her dead husband, and then the wife is telling her that she'll be cursed, that, like, bad things are gonna happen to her and her daughter if she doesn't marry someone. So it's just a little fishy with all that going on. And then she randomly meets a man who just lost his wife most recently, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And you could tell she's like stunned, like, this is weird. Like, right after this woman's telling me I need to marry someone. This one, it's like got more of a ghost type story in a way, that this ghost, this like evil ghost, is kind of latched onto her, or this like evil spirit. But this issue too, it really intrigued me, and I definitely do like this, man. It has a lot. It can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's in the older days, and I don't know, man. This was it was really creepy, man. I really dug this though. I thought it was really cool, because Lolo Woods actually really disappointed me, but that one, Daffy and Byrne, I really like that. Batman issue 88. Wow, dude, each issue just keeps getting better and better. We got Deathstroke, we got Cashmere, we got Riddler looking crazy, we got Penguin, and wow, this was a crazy issue, and there's a lot of things that Tinian is setting up, man. The artwork was absolutely astonishing. Catwoman looking like a snack as always, but she really was looking good in the rain in this. Like, it's pouring rain, and she's just looking good, man. And but dude, there was some really cool stuff. There's some big stuff, and Catwoman hasn't been completely honest with Batman. There was some things that she was doing when she was in her villainous days, and with her, Riddler, Penguin, Deathstroke, the designer. So they're talking about this designer villain, and nobody believes he's real. So I don't know what's going on. Well, I know what's going on, but I ain't gonna spoil it for you. But this issue was the best one yet. The first one was like, it's setting some things up. And you're like, it was pretty good. Issue 87 was awesome, dude. Issue 88, it went a step above that, and I was like, wow, man. Young Justice issue 13. This issue, the artwork was all over the place. There was like some really animated stuff with, Clark Kent when he's kind of in these, maybe it's the Savage Lands or whatever, but he's hanging out with Warlord, which I thought you kind of get to know Warlord in a way, and I thought that was absolutely awesome. But the artwork was like all over the place. There was like some really, like, it reminded me of the He-Man animated figure, like the really goofy one that died in the last issue. Yeah, man, it was like that type of artwork, and I'm like, what the heck is going on with this? And then we get and then it cuts to like the regular artwork that like we've been getting. So it was just weird. This cover is pretty cool though, I thought, and Young Justice has been a pretty cool read. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on it, and by the end of this, man, dude, it was crazy, man. There's some really cool stuff that they're setting up, and I'm excited to see what's gonna go down with the Young Justice, and we might get some other Young Justice characters in the mix of things, and that's just looking awesome. Last but not least, we're finally ending the Martian Manhunter maxi series. This is another one like Daredevil I fell off of on like issue 4, but I had to snag up the whole series just because I am a Martian Manhunter fan, and I want to get to know more of the character. And this was just, they don't have a lot of solo Martian Manhunter series, and the artwork is absolutely trippy in this, man. It's really unique. And Steve Orlando has a really crazy way of writing sometimes, and I didn't fall off because I didn't like it. I just, at the time I was reading so many books. I was reading a lot more than I even was now, so, I just kind of fell behind on some things, and I never caught back up. But this is one I definitely will be checking out soon. And yeah, guys, that's all I got for this week. Let me know if there's anything that you guys picked up, if there's anything you guys would recommend. I'm always on the lookout for, different books. I always like variety. I like trying new things. So if there's anything you guys would ever like to recommend, dude, feel free to just throw it down in the comments. Like I said, I started a Patreon account and I started a new PayPal, so I'll have those links down below if you guys want to support the channel. And if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button on your way out, hitting that subscribe, hitting that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.